Ooh, yikes. Hello, everybody.
Greetings and welcome
To the Jimm
and Dave
Beer Review.
Hey Dave, what's on tap?
We have Sierra Nevada Torpedo.
Sierra Nevada. Well, I will
Torpedo,
say
not Torpedo.
not Torpedo.
Torpedo.
Don't eat it on camera. Come on.
I can't.
You sure you just
I feel my
clean?
palate, people.
Yeah, we're cleaning our palate from our last horrible review.
Yeah. There we go.
Here we go.
From We Work Hard. We do.
We do. We're working hard here. This beer is hard work.
To get strong hop flavors into our beers. And one of the ways we do that is through dry hopping.
Dry hopping. What? Wait, what?
Dry hopping.
Hopping. Sorry.
Not humping. We don't dry hump.
Yeah, because everybody,
That's how they do it.
we do it. We're humping.
Dry
we're bumping.
hopping refers to the addition of whole cone hops to the fermentation tanks.
Whole cones?
Now you know what that means, Jim.
Yes, dry hopping means putting the pine cones into the tanks. What?
Means putting the whole cone hops.
The whole cone of the hops.
To the fermentation tanks.
Got it. That's called dry hopping.
The addition of hops to cold beer allows the aromatic oils and resin to infuse the beer with flavor and aroma without adding any additional bitterness.
Good. Well, we don't want any additional bitterness.
Wait a minute, I'm not done yet.
Well, there's more?
There's a lot more.
Sweet.
The traditional dry hopping uses nylon sacks stuffed with hops and suspended in the tanks. We found that as we remove the hop sacks.
As we remove hop sacks.
we remove.
David Kessler, the Walter Cronkite of beer
I know how to
reviews.
spell and read.
And that's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry.
And talk at the same time.
I'm talking.
It's okay.
Beer cat, come back.
We found that we removed the dry hop sacks even after weeks suspended in beer.
Oh.
We occasionally find the center to be dry, meaning that the hop never came in contact with the beer. We thought there had to be a better way, and nearly 10 years ago an idea was sketched in a bar that changed the way we dry hop. In 2009 the idea became a reality with the invention of the hop torpedo. The torpedo is a stainless steel device packed with a whole cone hops and sealed against pressure. Fermenting beer is circulated out of a fermenter through the column of hops. This is getting really technical, people.
It is. Go on.
And back into the fermentation tank.
So, through the steel cylinder back into the fermentation tank.
Yes. The
Yes.
circulation method is easily manipulated through time, temperature, and speed.
Okay.
We can control what types of flavors and aromas we exact from the hops and how much these aromas will appear in the finished beer.
Aha.
I don't know what's heard.
Well, this sounds like a place I want to tour. They got all kinds of contraptions going
Experimental
on.
hops. It goes on.
It goes on. You sure this is still talking about the same beer now?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. Okay, so overview.
Overview. Good.
Alcohol content, 7.2 by volume.
7.2.
In beginning gravity is 17.0 plato. The ending gravity is only 3.7.
So it gets heavy and then becomes lighter.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Bitterness unit is 65. Anything over 50 is not too good for me. Yeast is ale yeast. Bittering hops are Magnum.
Magnum.
Finishing hops, they got entering and finishing. Magnum Crystal Citra, malts, 2-row pale caramel. Food pairings, cuisine, lamb, duck, Southwestern cuisine,
Duck.
cheese, aged cheddar.
Cheddar. I like aged cheddar. And duck, huh? Well, I wonder if this would go to Peking duck.
Here we go with another can, people.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? All right, well, just as a
Not all
side
cans
note.
are bad. I got cans. Citra got cans all the time.
Right.
But
Sierra Nevada is actually the first pale ale I ever had. I thought when I was young and, somewhat clueless about beers.
I didn't like it. Say that.
Oh, he didn't? Okay, fine.
I was just saying something. You didn't have to. I was letting you go on. I didn't say
No, you can, when I'm done talking, you can say you didn't like it. It's fine. I just saw you up in the screen here. All I saw was like the Cookie Monster. Cookie.
I didn't like it. I was trying to let you go on with your.
No, but anyway, the pale ale, I liked it a lot. It was my first experience outside of, say, a Samuel Adams, where I was just like, this is really a unique taste. And I remember I bought a 6-pack from the local bar, and I was like, oh, I got to try this with Dave. Because back then we didn't really drink more than a 6-pack between the two of us. And as you can see, that's changed over the years. And, well, you know, Dave was just like, gee, thanks, after we tried it, you know. So, yeah, what are you going to do? Well, let's see. Looks like
I needed to quench my thirst, though. My mouth was awful dry.
Well, it's bad form to complain about free beer.
Yes.
But anyway, so that was my first pale ale, and I really liked it. I still like Sierra Nevada Pale Ale to this day. This is an extra IPA, apparently because of their special hopping process. And it's called Torpedo, so I'm looking forward to trying it, as in I do know I like something from this brewer already. So Dave, let us begin 6 minutes into the beer review. It has a very dark color, but it's not pitch black, it's more like an amber. Would you say
it's an amber? It's an amber.
And looks
a lager amber.
Well carbonated. Let's give it a little smell here.
Lager.
Now try to smell, and remember the smell that this is Magnum hops.
It smells like an amber lager.
It smells like an amber lager. So this doesn't smell like a pale ale to you, an IPA.
It does not.
Remember the bitterness units, which for all intents and purposes is just a scientific measurement.
You have a beginning and an ending on two different kind of things here.
True. You've already forgotten what they're called, haven't you?
Yes. I'm honest with you people.
It's kind of sweet, but not a whole lot of variety of notes. It doesn't have maybe a hint of a citrus note that you'd expect with an Indian Pale Ale. But, you know, it doesn't really have that classic Indian Pale Ale scent that we've gotten from a lot of other beers, so this is a little different. And even the head on it seems to be a little shade darker than your average head of beer, which is usually white unless it's a porter, in which case it can be much more tan. But this does seem to have a little bit of a tan hint to it. So, all right. Well, I think we waited long enough.
Yes. A whole minute and a half
Cheers.
by the time we sniffed it to the time we tasted it.
Well, it's important. We got to remember our sniffing. Very interesting.
Well, we went from a pretty good beer down to a crappy beer, back a little bit up.
Back a little bit up.
I give it a 6.5.
6.5 right off the bat. Dave's not a fan of IPAs in general. No. Although he did like the Mirror Pond.
Mirror Pond was different, man. That was some good stuff. The Schute's beer is awesome. That's my favorite beer now. I still have a couple beers left at home for tomorrow night.
Well, what I find interesting about this beer is that usually when anything has and it varies by beer, of course, but when anything has over a certain level, I would say 50 IBUs.
That's when Dave don't like it that much.
Usually it's a little bit bitter on the back and has a very bitter aftertaste. This, to me, doesn't have that much of a bitter aftertaste.
Look at you.
Did you think it was bitter?
Yes, yes.
It did strike me as hard as some other beers I've had, less on the scale. So, I think there is something to their torpedo hopping process because...
Dude, drinking all these beers for as long as we have, the beer that I go to because I don't have a lot of money, and the beer because I drink good beer is regularly in my house. The beer that I drink regularly now doesn't taste as good as all the beers we tried anymore.
Look at the camera when you're talking. You're talking to the audience. The beer you tasted doesn't taste as good as the one you tasted anymore. What was that again?
The beer that I drink every day now, is my everyday beer, is getting less and less. I don't like it as much as I used to.
Well, we are expanding our horizons, and we're sharing that with the internet.
And the beer that I really like, it costs way too much money for me to buy every week.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like the movie Pretty Woman, where he took a hoe and elevated her up to being a lady, and she couldn't go back to being just his, beck and call girl. So sometimes when you elevate yourself, it's kind of hard to settle for the lesser. Now, having said that, I think this is actually a pretty good beer.
You like Sierra Nevada. I don't know. Maybe the You have another Sierra Nevada for us to taste, right?
And this one, I hope you like because it's a stout.
Yeah, so I like my stout, so let's see if you can change my mind, Sierra Nevada.
That's why I saved that for after this one.
So far, it's like, what?
I would say this is a very good beer. I would buy this beer. It's not over the moon great. I'd probably give this around...
I think I put it through the moon.
I might say 7 maybe 7. It's a 7 beer. Scale 1 to 10.
6.5 for me, but that's not too good for
still,
you, though.
Yeah, it was 7 for me, 6.5 for you. Still, that's pretty close.
It's still not too good for you, though.
Well, like I said, I'm kind of like 7.5. It is a little... It's not great on the back end. I still feel a little bit of, the bitterness on my tongue. Going down is very good.
Well, now it's okay. Come back up, it's terrible. Not as bad as the other stuff, though. The stuff we had before.
Yeah, the immediate aftertaste is a little harsh, but, on the whole, I find it to be enjoyable. So while we are getting ready to do the next beer review, Dave, why don't you start looking up the porter? And I will, so we can keep the ball rolling here on our end. And I'll do all the disclaimers. Please, don't drink and drive.
Do not.
Totally not cool.
Not cool.
Pregnant women shouldn't drink at all. If you're under 21, then you not drink, you shouldn't be watching this nonsense.
You're pretty what? What? If you're pretty what? You don't what?
I said, if you're a pretty woman, you shouldn't call Dave, you should call me.
Drink at all?
I said, if you're pregnant.
Oh, I think you said pretty.
Yeah, if you're pretty, you should drink a lot more. And then come over to my house.
What's up with that,
Because
James?
I'm a gentleman.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sure you are. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We're fine.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I had a sling blade. And I reckon I walked him over the head with a sling blade.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
You got it good. Hopefully it
Got
won't
it
take as
good.
long this time. So, cheers to you. This is the last one out.
Sierra Nevada Porter, right?
Yep, that's the next one.
Origin of Porter. Yeah, like
Origin of Porter. Maybe you can read. I'll read that one. Look at the camera and say goodbye, Dave.
Drink about the Porter Pots.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.